Everyone thought they died. But for 72 days in -40 degrees Celsius, they fought the mountains, the hunger, the darkness, and somehow they survived.
Now, if the search has been called off, then we're on our own to save our lives, and we've got to eat.
Eat what?
Dead?
The movie is based on true events. It's 1972. The Uruguayan rugby team is flying over the Andes. Along with the rowdy players, most of the people on board are their relatives. The guys are taking a group photo. Susana Parrado tells her mother they'll be landing in 20 minutes.
Oh, don't worry, we're gonna be on the ground in 20 minutes.
Nando Parrado and a friend are debating what's more important, girls or rugby.
Girls. You?
Girls.
The pilots prepare to fly through a cyclone and ask the steward to get the boys seated.
Steward, get those kids to sit down back there. We're gonna go through a little weather on our approach.
Okay.
Suddenly, the plane starts shaking violently.
Come on now, sit down. Sit down there.
Many still ignore the safety rules, but everyone tenses up when the plane begins to lose altitude. The jokes stop instantly.
Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, blessed is thy womb.
Feeling the G-forces, the passengers fasten their seatbelts. They pray and hold the hands of their loved ones. Without gaining altitude, the plane loses its tail and then its wings. The people in the back are thrown out. The fuselage slams into the snow and starts rolling at incredible speed. When it finally crashes into a hill and stops, several passengers are crushed beyond recognition. Snow immediately begins to cover the wreckage. Everyone looks around to see who survived and who's injured.
Stay calm. He's dead.
Federico's leg is ripped open down to the bone.
His leg is cut. I'm fine. Help the wounded.
A woman is screaming in pain, complaining about her legs.
Oh, my legs!
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry about your legs.
The woman's legs are crushed under the seats, and she can't be freed.
Stop! Stop! We're going to kill her!
Nando is most likely dead, just like his mother. Pablo has a piece of metal sticking out of his stomach, and he isn't sure how serious it is.
Forget it, you're all right.
Think so?
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're strong as an ox.
Gustavo, a medical student, quickly pulls it out while Pablo is distracted.
Here, tie it up with this shirt and I'll see to it later.
Roberto Canessa, another medical student, gives the dying pilot some melted snow to suck from a cloth. The radio doesn't work.
It's dead, there's no power at all.
The pilot asks for the pistol in his bag, begging them to end his suffering.
No, my friend, we can't be a part of that.
Everyone who can move gathers outside. They remove the seat covers to use as blankets.
Let's unzip these covers off the seats to use as blankets.
Inside, a hysterical mechanic hides under a jacket, one he stole from the badly injured Susana Parrado.
You're right. That's Susana Parrado's coat. I'll put it back on her.
Roberto threatens to kill him if he tries something like that again. Bobby stays unnervingly calm.
Want some wine? Thanks.
Smoking cigarette after cigarette and taking swigs of wine he found near the pilots.
Hugo found a shitload of bottles in this carton. He thinks it was the pilot's.
Team Captain Antonio steps up as the leader. The survivors try to sleep and stay warm.
Oh, my sweet God in heaven, pain.
But the woman with broken legs keeps screaming and repeating the same things.
I'm in agony!
Shut up! Shut up, you! Shut up, you stupid cow! I'll punch your face in!
It's freezing, so Antonio gets Roy and Rafael to help block the opening in the fuselage with chairs and suitcases. Outside, Nando Parrado lies buried in snow. Two guys decide that he might still be alive, so they place him between them to keep him warm. That's how they survive the first night. But not all of them make it. Roberto orders all the bodies to be brought outside.
He's dead. Help me move him out.
Susanna's legs are also badly damaged and completely cold.
How's that?
Thank you.
The mechanic seems to have lost his mind, but he at least knows that the radio won't work without a battery, which is in the tail section, the part that broke off first.
The batteries are in the tail, and the tail's gone!
The bodies are stacked in the snow. Among them is the woman who suffered all night. Carlitos feels ashamed for yelling at her before she died.
I'm so ashamed. God, forgive me. Hey, take it easy.
The boys said a prayer over the bodies.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
Their supplies were pitiful, a small pile of snacks and 4 bottles of wine, barely anything for 27 people.
Chocolate-covered peanuts, small chocolate bars, 4 bottles of wine, half bottle of rum.
The only abundance they had was an entire suitcase filled with cigarettes. The captain reassured everyone that once the blizzard ended, rescuers would definitely come for them.
There's probably going to be helicopters coming over those mountains this afternoon.
For now, each person would get a bottle cap of wine and a few pieces of chocolate. Nando was still unconscious, but his friends begged for him to receive his share as well.
He looks better.
Yeah, he looks fabulous.
A plane flew by somewhere above, but they couldn't even see it through the snow.
We can't see them. They can't see us.
Overnight, the bodies outside became buried. The Matuls reminisced about their children and home.
I'm thinking about our children.
Me too.
The boys shivered, trying desperately to stay warm. Snow melted on the metal and on the backs of the seats. Antonio marked an area so no one would urinate there.
I'll mark off a big square of snow so nobody will piss in it.
Roy scolded the others for just sitting around and doing nothing.
There's things to do here, you know?
Stuff it, Roy.
Suzanne had grown extremely weak, but her brother, Nando, finally regained consciousness. He immediately learned that his mother had died.
Your sister's alive. Suzanne's alive and she needs you, but she's hurt. She needs you. She needs you to take care.
And now all he could do was care for his fading sister. The sun briefly came out, and another plane passed over the crash site.
Can they see us? Of course they can! Hey! Here we are!
Everyone began shouting and waving pieces of clothing. The poor survivors were convinced the pilot had spotted them. Some even claimed the plane dipped its wing at them. Overjoyed, they drank as much wine as they wanted that night.
We've been seen. Drink.
When the captain finally fell asleep, the boys secretly devoured the remaining chocolate. The next morning, they settled into the snow and waited for rescue.
What the hell is this?
What's the matter?
But when Antonio realized the supplies were almost gone, he was furious.
That could take days, a week! We have nothing to eat!
It turned out everyone had eaten something.
Everybody took something, Antonio, except for maybe Javier and Liliana.
It was now the 5th day since the crash. While the boys were making hammocks for the wounded, they found a functioning radio.
Better get to Antonio right away before he starts yelling.
Nando never left his sister's side. He knew she was dying. When that moment came, he planned to leave the crash site, taking the pilots' bodies with him as food.
Well, then I'll cut some meat off the pilots.
The boys with broken legs were getting worse.
Berto's legs are much worse than mine.
Then the radio announced devastating news.
What's happening?
Antonio heard on the radio that none of the planes have seen us.
Yet!
Rescuers had found no wreckage. 5 people decided to climb the nearest mountain to find out what surrounded them. They walked only a short distance before becoming exhausted, gasping for air in the thin atmosphere. One of them nearly fell off a cliff, but was pulled back just in time. Unable to reach their goal, the group returned to the fuselage. Alberto found a map. Maybe it could help them escape, but without food, they were helpless. That night, the survivors prayed together. Another day passed. A hopeless Antonio broke down in tears, saying he no longer wanted to carry the burden of leadership.
Not God, you know? I can't save you.
Nando told the group that his sister Susanna had died.
Susanna's dead. My sister's dead.
He asked them to let her stay beside him for one last night. In the morning, Nando carried his sister outside.
She won't need her coat.
The 9th day arrived. Antonio learned that the search had officially been called off.
They think we're dead.
But he couldn't bring himself to tell the others.
Better go tell the others.
I can't.
Nando, however, had no hesitation. He gathered everyone and informed them that from this point on, they could rely only on themselves.
Because it means we're gonna get out of here on our own, all right? We're gonna save ourselves.
They need to eat the dead to survive. After Nando left, a discussion began. Many of them were believers and were afraid of angering God.
Now, if there is a soul, leaves the body when we die, then the body is just a carcass.
Others tried to convince everyone that the soul had already left the body, and what remained outside was only meat.
None of us can decide a thing like this.
Roberto persuaded Antonio, and the others eventually agreed. Most of them were ready to take this terrible step to stay alive.
I pledge. You agree? Me too.
The meat could be cut with a shard of glass.
This should be good for the cutting.
But who would do it? Roberto was the first to take the sin upon himself. Cutting was extremely difficult because the bodies were frozen. After finally getting a small piece, he ate it raw in front of everyone.
Very difficult to cut. The meat's almost frozen. I'm gonna eat this piece.
Gustavo followed him and cut a larger piece. One by one, the others approached the bodies.
I'll tell you one thing. If I have meat in my belly, I intend to get something done.
Nando was worried that they might have eaten his sister, but it turned out to be a man.
Look, I'll do what I can, Roberto. I'm strong when I'm strong, and when I'm not, it's your turn.
After eating something, 3 men set out to search for the plane's tail. That night, everyone prayed for them.
Can't see them anymore.
In the morning, Roberto cut off more pieces and assumed the trio hadn't survived.
You think they're okay?
No.
The nighttime temperature had dropped to minus 30 or 40 degrees, but they were still alive and incredibly happy to see the sunrise.
It's the sun. No, we're dreaming.
A chair lay in the snow, and inside it was a burned rugby player with another one nearby. Gustavo collected the belongings of the dead to return to their families later.
This counts for those that are still missing. Altogether 3.
Even in this situation, the guys found a way to carry these items. Everyone was overjoyed when the group returned alive.
Anything is possible.
That night, they planned their next attempt to search for the tail. To keep warm, they threw money and a guitar into the fire. Antonio had resisted cannibalism more than most of them, but now he agreed to let his friends eat him after he died. Lillian said she wanted another child. Javier worried because his wife wasn't eating.
And if you don't eat, how will you live to have another baby? I'll eat tomorrow.
That same night, a massive avalanche buried the plane. The survivors were trapped under the snow and fought desperately to escape. Captain Antonio couldn't be saved. He suffocated.
Antonio?
Another young man with a stomach wound also died. Javier found his wife, but Lillian was no longer breathing.
Please don't take her from me now!
The avalanche claimed 8 more lives. In the morning, they still couldn't get to the surface. A blizzard raged outside. It was Raphael's birthday, so his friends made him a cake out of snow and half of a smoked cigarette.
Happy birthday to you.
Another avalanche hit during the night, and the man who always refused to pray suddenly started reciting the Lord's Prayer.
Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Apparently, the prayer worked. The storm passed. Carlito believed he would see his father again. They dug out and dragged the bodies to the surface. Alberto said he felt closer to God than ever.
Because I am so close to God.
Federico hugged him, but in the morning, Federico woke everyone with the news that Alberto had died.
Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord. Let perpetual light shine upon them.
He was only 21 years old. It was now the 50th day. After gathering a decent supply of meat, the group decided it was time to move on. Javier refused to eat after losing his wife.
Hey, forget your wife! Forget her! Remember your living children!
3 men set out once again to search for the tail. Roy stared hopelessly at the pile of radio wires he needed to sort out.
I've helped a couple of my cousins put together their stereos, so now I'm the radio man.
Then, unbelievably, the group found the tail section. They also found Roberto, along with chocolate, which he devoured immediately. He even ate toothpaste, but Roberto was thrilled. They had finally found the battery, and they could return the next day. However, Nando suggests continuing on to Chile. In the morning, they discover that the battery is so heavy they won't be able to carry it back to camp. That means the radio will need to be brought to this location instead.
We'll get the radio and we'll bring it back up here.
Along with Roy doesn't like that at all. He complains that they've been walking forever,
I don't want to go!
that he has no strength left, and that he feels weak and exhausted. Once they arrive, it turns out Roy isn't actually very skilled with electronics.
Careful!
Sorry.
Run something out, dude.
If the radio still doesn't work, they'll have no choice but to head into the mountains. Roy collapses to his knees.
I can't walk! I can't carry you! You're gonna kill us both!
He can't go any farther. In the end, Nando carries him all the way back to camp. Only when he gets back into the plane does he notice that Federico has died. He never made it home.
Federico's dead.
It's now day 61, and the weather is noticeably warmer. Carlitos is sewing a warm sleeping bag. Rafael gets sick and dies shortly after.
Rafael's dead.
Nando convinces Roberto to set out once again.
It's time to go, Roberto. It's time.
The same trio embarks on the expedition. The others watch the departing trio with hope. The 3 climb the cliff. They survived the night and were already hoping they had reached the summit, only to realize they still had more to climb. Roberto slipped and nearly fell into the abyss. Hanging onto the edge of the cliff. Nando reached him just in time and grabbed his hand. Tintin pulled both of them up using a belt. Another night passed inside their huge sleeping bag. In the morning, Roberto noticed what looked like a line, something he thought might be a road. That meant they needed to turn back and take the road from below.
It might be a road, it might not. Look, I have the best eyes. That's a road.
The mountain ahead was simply too high. Roberto refused to go any farther. So Nando and Tintin decided they would leave their things there and climb the mountain themselves. Nando finally reached the summit, calling for Roberto to stand up and look.
Tell him it's gonna be all right! Tell him to come up and see for himself!
But the medic didn't see anything good up there. There was nothing but mountains. Nando pointed toward the snow-free peaks in the distance. That was where they needed to go, but they were at least 50 miles away. Once again, Roberto wanted to return to camp, but Nando's inspiring speech eventually convinced him.
I'm proud to be a man on a day like this.
They sent Tintin back, and the 2 of them set off into the unknown. 10 days after being left alone, they finally reached the rivers and green meadows of Chile. Back at camp, the others seemed to have lost hope, but soon they heard the thunder of helicopter blades. The survivors laughed and shouted. At last, they were going home. The film is dedicated to the 29 victims and the 16 survivors. These people fought for their lives for 72 days. Those rescued were diagnosed with altitude sickness, dehydration, frostbite, scurvy, broken bones, and malnutrition. Later, Rescuers returned to the crash site and buried the bodies under rocks and pieces of the fuselage. An iron cross was placed on top. And that's the unbelievable true story of survival in the Andes. If you made it this far, tap that like button. It helps this video reach more people, and I'll keep bringing you more intense recaps. See you in the next one.